We normal people, we have to not go to our jobs, not go to our school, and go to the beaches to take the oil because the government is not over there taking the oil. We shouldn't be doing this. We are getting sick. We saw people at the beach. They were black from the head to the toes. And then we started seeing people like throwing up and feeling nausea and with breathing difficulties. It was like a war. There was a boy in Bahia that died. He was 28 years old, and he was taking the oil out. Nobody knows exactly what happened, but he got stuck on the oil above, under the water, and then he died. On the 26th of August, we had an oil leakage, Porto de Suape, in Pernambuco. And on the 3rd of September, we started hearing about oil leakage in other beaches. It was another oil leakage problem, but then we were already looking at oil leakage because of the first one. We got massive ones in the Praia of Carneiros, and then we got one of the biggest ones, and I was over there in Itapuama, and it was like 1 meter of an oil layer above like very delicate rocks on the beach. The free media is mainly the ones we are trusting right now. So we have Media Ninja, The Intercept Brazil, Marco Zero Conteúdo. But the other ones, we are always looking and thinking twice and trying to get more information. The big ones are the worst one, because if they want, they can put a false information over there and people just spread and believe that thing, and then we really don't know. So we are always like, let's try again, let's see another source. It's a very hard situation. When we got Bolsonaro's election last year, he saw that the northeast of Brazil did not elect him. And sometimes he said that the northeast people of Brazil were stupid, and he said many bad things about the northeast of Brazil already. So we just know he doesn't like us. The government just closed 2 very important councils from Brazil. One of them was the Bushfire Council, and the other one was the Oil Leakage, Oil Accidents Council. And then we had the Amazon fire, and now we have an oil leakage. And this council was responsible for setting up the strategies for controlling these accidents. After the president canceled the indigenous policies in Brazil, we had many indigenous groups invaded and many indigenous killed by these illegal logging gangs and by the cattle ranchers. This week we had Paulo Guajajara just killed by these people. Again, we had many ones this year. So Bolsonaro, he is very clear about not liking the environment. He's very clear about saying that the environment is keeping Brazil from growing up. The president put on a video saying that the fish are intelligent and they just run away from the oil leaks. And we can eat fish, we can eat seafood, we have no problems about it, so just eat your fish. On the other hand, we have many serious institutions making research and saying, don't eat the fish. Don't go to the beaches. Don't swim in the ocean, because it is toxic right now. The fishermen are trying to take it out themselves, and they're getting sick. The fish are getting sick. So these fishermen, these people who depend on the seafood to live, they are starving now because they depend on it. People who live on the beach and they work on the beach selling coconuts and selling water and selling food, they're starving because no one's at the beach anymore. And then the tourism minister came here and he said, oh, it's all fine. There's no problem at all. Just come to the beach. So we're like, how can we just say things like that if we are government people and not based on everything, and then institutions saying the opposite, and there's no law protecting us from this happening. We are dealing with something that we cannot count on the national government. We're going to have to do it ourselves. We are mainly organizing through Instagram and WhatsApp. We have to get people to donate money. We have to get people to donate food. We have to get people to donate the proper equipment so we can use the masks. We can use proper clothes, proper boots and gloves to go over there and take out the oil from the beach. Different beaches are creating different groups on WhatsApp to gather the volunteers, to gather food, to gather water, to gather information. So we are putting on some fundraisers on the internet to work on research, to work on the oil containment contingency, to work on education, to work on the media, so free reporters could go over there and use some internet or use some energy connections and just try and send real information to the world. And if we get together and if we have the right information, we can make something work. But if we are going to depend on the government, it's not going to happen. People in Europe can also help not consuming the beef that comes from Brazil or not consuming the beef that comes from the Amazon. Also, I think we need to start thinking about creating a life less dependent on the oil. We need to consume technologies that are more clean, that are more responsible, even though they are still a little bit more expensive, because if we don't put our money on them, they're not going to get cheaper. Now is the time. It's past the time. These things that are happening with our environment, they are unreversible.